Hey guys, welcome back to Gem City Mastering. So this evening I wanted to do a quick video on my new Brymen BM869S digital multimeter. So should you buy a Brymen multimeter, either this model, which is kind of their top of the line model, or another model of theirs? And the answer to that is yes, with one caveat. The caveat is if your professional colleagues require you to carry a yellow multimeter, then that might be a reason not to buy a Brymen multimeter. I understand that many industries have industry standards around the color of multimeters. So if you are a professional in one of those industries, and the industry standard is yellow multimeters, and then by all means purchase a yellow multimeter. If that's not your use case, then I would recommend taking a look at Brymen. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. You can look up a YouTuber by the name of Joe Smith. He does insanely intensive digital multimeter testing, including destructive testing. He has a transient tester that goes up to like 20 kilovolts or something like that. And he basically tests a multimeter until he destroys it. And then he fixes it. And he does it all on camera for our benefit. This is his favorite multimeter, and as such, I bought it. Now, there is one downside is these are particularly difficult to get. Well, they're not difficult. They're not sold in the United States, except for one exception, I think. I do believe there is an EEV blog branded Brymen. It's a couple models down from this one that is available on Amazon. But otherwise, there are no retailers or wholesalers in the United States that sell Brymen that I could find. I bought this unit out of from a retailer in Poland. They were more than happy to sell it to me and ship it across the pond. Only took a few days to get here, not a big deal at all. Given the situation in Ukraine now, might take a little longer. I don't really know if that is affecting shipping out of Poland or not, but worth considering in any case. I'm sure that that retailer will tell you if there are any shipping delays. So let's do some basic testing here. We'll go ahead and turn the unit on, set it to DC volts. And okay, basics. This is a 50,000 count multimeter with a 500,000 count mode. So essentially, if you're in only DC volts, you can go into the 500,000 count mode, and you do that by holding the delta key down. You can see we got the extra digit of precision there. If you go into one of the other DC measurement modes, like DC plus AC or whatever, you cannot use that 500,000 count mode. But for 98% of everything us hobbyists are going to be doing, and even many professionals for that matter, 50,000 count in a handheld DMM is plenty precise enough. And the option for 500,000 count here is just a really cool bonus, right? And if you need a 500,000 count multimeter, you don't need to be watching this video. You already know what you need to buy. But for the hobbyist, I'm telling you, look at Brymen. Really nice stuff. So let's send some voltage to it here. We'll start out with 0.1 volts from my bench power supply. So there's 0.1 volt. Let's go up to 1 volt. There's 1 volt. Let's go to 1.5 volts. Here's 1.5 volts. And this will give you a good idea of the speed of the multimeter. Also, pay attention to the bar graph. I don't know. Can you see it? I think you can. The bar graph is extremely fast on this multimeter. Let's go ahead and go up to 3 volts. So there's 3 volts. And we'll go to 5 volts. There is 5 volts. Let's go up to 10 volts. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and turn the backlight on here. The backlight is very good on this. It's blue. So there's the backlight. I have a pretty bright light pointing at it, so it may not look as bright on camera as it actually is in real life. But it's very good. And initially for this model, when Brymen rolled this out, it had a very short backlight timeout. I think it was 20 seconds, 15 seconds, something like that. And Obviously, a lot of customers complained. Unfortunately, it's not a firmware thing that you can update or anything like that. It's baked into the hardware. But they did update the BM869S to, it's like a 2.5 minute timeout now, something much more reasonable. But in any case, let's keep going here. Let's go up to 13.8 volts, automotive voltage. There's 13.8. We'll go to 15. 15, 24. There's 24 volts, and max out my power supply at 30 volts. So there's 30 volts. Okay, so let's do some resistance testing. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. We've got it set up with the decade box right now to do some resistance measurements so we can see the response times and the accuracy. This is a 1% decade box. So we'll start out with, oh, and by the way, this decade box does have a little bit of native resistance, about 0.27 ohms. I can zero that out by just hitting the delta key. So let's go ahead and do 1 ohm. Here's 1 ohm, 10, 100, 1K, 10K. You can see it auto ranging now. 100K and 1 mega ohm. Let's do 4 ohm. There's 4 ohm. 40. There's 40. 400. 4K. 40K. 400K. 4 meg. A little bit slower in that 4 meg measurement, and now let's go ahead and go up to 10 meg. So there's 10 mega ohm. So this next test that I'm going to do is kind of funny, and I'll show you why it's funny. This is the first multimeter I ever bought. I think I bought it when I was 18 or 19. I was working as an assistant manager at Radio Shack, and I bought it at cost from Radio Shack. This is about as basic as a multimeter gets. Yeah, it has served me well. You know, I've done car audio stuff with it. I've done all kinds of stuff with it over the 20 plus years that I've had it. But it's just not. It's just not precise enough for the kind of work I'm doing now. Still great for around the house and stuff. And I've got a few other multimeters around here, but this was the first one. And the reason I bring this out is to show you the speed of the continuity check. So many multimeters have kind of a slow continuity check. So you'll make the connection and then it's kind of like a delay and then the beep. And this is very much like that. So I can demonstrate that. Once I connect, it'll be a while before you hear the beep. In fact, I can tap really fast and you don't hear anything. But and that's pretty common among inexpensive multimeters. Delay in the continuity check. And so I wanted to demonstrate the continuity checker on the Brymen. So I've got my function generator set up here to send out a square wave at 1 hertz once per second, and that's going to simulate a continuity check. I actually need to be in the continuity mode here, so we'll go ahead and put it in that mode. And now we'll start sending the square wave. So that's at 1 hertz once per second. We'll go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10. That's 10 hertz. Let's go to 20 hertz, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, all the way up to 100, 200, 300 hertz, 400 hertz, 500 hertz, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 kilohertz. Absolute insanity. I just thought that's kind of a fun test. So anyway, I could do a bunch of other demonstrations here with like AC and AC measurements and frequency counter and all that kind of stuff. But if you want that kind of stuff, you can just go watch Joe Smith's YouTube channel. He does way more than I'm equipped to do here. But I just wanted to share this with you guys. It's a great value multimeter. I think it's about 250, 260 bucks, maybe even less than that. I don't really remember. And ships over fast from Poland. And if you're in the market, check out Brymen. Anyway, guys, I think we'll end it here. I do have, I'm in the process of designing some PCBs. So there will be new DIY mastering console videos incoming once those are manufactured and I get them populated. Then we'll do testing here together. So if you're into DIY analog audio equipment and that sort of thing, be sure and subscribe. Stick around if you are so inclined. I hate to say it. I hate this phrase, but ring the bell if you want to get notified. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.